You've been told the story of the lone artisan, stitching by candlelight in a Tuscan village. It's a beautiful lie. That $40,000 bag wasn't born from passion. It was engineered in a sterile boardroom by people who study your dopamine receptors like a roadmap. You aren't paying for leather. You're paying for a psychological cage. Today, we're stopping the clock on the marketing fairy tale to look at the cold, calculated machinery of desire. Please subscribe and activate the button to help us reach 1,000 subscribers so we can bring you more relevant content and so YouTube can notify you when we publish new videos. Exclusivity is a controlled burn. If a fire spreads too fast, it loses its heat. If a luxury brand becomes too accessible, it dies. This is the paradox that keeps the titans of the industry awake at night. They don't sell products. They sell the distance between you and the person you wish you were. Think about the waiting list. We've all heard the stories about the Birkin bag or the Rolex Daytona. You walk into a boutique with $100,000 in your pocket and they tell you no. Most people think this is because the artisans can't keep up with the demand. That's the narrative. The reality is far more clinical. This is perception engineering. By denying you the purchase, the brand isn't losing a sale. They are increasing the value of the hunt. They are training you like a lab subject to associate their logo with the agony of longing. When you finally get the call 6 months, a year, 2 years later that a piece has become available, your brain doesn't process it as a financial transaction. It processes it as an achievement. You didn't buy a watch, you won a battle. Behind the velvet ropes of these brands, there is a department dedicated entirely to production calibration. They know exactly how many units they could produce. They know they could flood the market and triple their revenue in a single quarter, but they also know that would be a suicide pact. Take Ferrari. The philosophy was always to produce one car less than the market demanded. It's a simple formula, but the execution is ruthless. They vet their owners. They track where the cars go. They have been known to blackball billionaires who dare to modify their vehicles or sell them too quickly for a profit. Why? Because the brand must own the narrative, not the customer. In this world, the customer is not king. The customer is a disciple. The brand is the deity. This shift in power is the first dark secret. They have convinced the wealthiest people on earth to audition for the privilege of handing over their money. It is the ultimate reversal of the free market, and it is executed with the precision of a surgical strike. The stakes here aren't just about profit margins. They are about maintaining a social hierarchy. If anyone with a credit card can buy the dream loses its power to signal status. And status is the only thing the 0.01% are truly terrified of losing. They don't want the best coat. They want the coat that proves you aren't one of them. Walk into any flagship store on Avenue Montaigne or Fifth Avenue. What do you see on the ground floor? Keychains, wallets, small perfumes, maybe a $500 t-shirt. These items are the engine of the luxury machine, but they are also a distraction. These are aspirational hooks. The brands know that the average consumer cannot afford the $50,000 bespoke trunk or the $100,000 high jewelry necklace. So, they create a ladder. They sell you a piece of the logo, a small, high-margin souvenir of a lifestyle you haven't earned yet. This is where the real money is made. While the VVIPs in the private upstairs lounges are getting custom fittings, the aspirational crowd is downstairs, funding the brand's global marketing budget by buying mass-produced canvas bags that cost $40 to manufacture and $15,100 to take home. The secret is that the luxury experience downstairs is a carefully choreographed performance. The heavy doors, the security guards in suits, the specific scent pumped through the vents, it's all designed to make the $800 purchase feel like a $80,000 one. It's a hit of status for the masses. But go deeper. Look at the manufacturing. While the marketing suggests a workshop in France, many "Made in Italy" or "Made in France" labels are legally applied after 90% of the work was done in high-efficiency factories in regions with much lower labor costs. The final finishing touches the handle, the clasp air added in Europe to satisfy the legal requirements for the prestigious label. This is the heritage illusion. Brands spend billions protecting the image of the old world, while utilizing new world supply chain efficiency. They aren't selling you the history of the 19th century. They are selling you a movie about the 19th century. And then there is the psychology of the price tag. In any other industry, if you raise the price, demand goes down. In luxury, the opposite is often true. This is what economists call a Veblen good. The higher the price, the more desirable it becomes, because the price is the feature. The price tag is the wall that keeps the wrong people out. I once sat in a room with a brand consultant for a Swiss watchmaker. He told me, if we priced this watch at $5,000, we'd sell 10. If we price it at $50,000, we'll have a 3-year waiting list. It's not about the movement of the gears, it's about the movement of the ego. The brands have mastered the art of price-prestige correlation. They aren't charging you for the materials. They are charging you for the feeling of being superior to the person standing next to you at the gala. The atmosphere changes when you move from the retail floor to the secret tier. This is where the real game is played. For the ultra-high net worth individual, the brand isn't a logo on a shirt. In fact, at the highest levels, the logos disappear. This is quiet luxury, or stealth wealth. If you can recognize the brand from across the street, it's for the middle class. If only 5 people in the room know you're wearing a vicuña coat that costs more than a mid-sized sedan, you've reached the inner circle. The dark secret here is the relationship manager. These aren't sales clerks, they are social engineers. Their job is to know your children's birthdays, your favorite vintage of wine, and which mistress you're currently hiding. They are part concierge, part confessor, part gatekeeper. They use this intimacy to create a sunk cost loyalty. Once a brand knows your deepest preferences and has your home address on speed dial, the friction of switching to another brand becomes too high. You are no longer a customer, you are an asset in their database. But there is a darker side to this intimacy. These brands operate a social credit system that the public never sees. They rank their customers. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. If you are Tier 3, you get invited to the store opening. If you are Tier 1, the store comes to you. They will fly a tailor to your yacht in the Maldives. They will shut down a flagship store at 2 a.m. so you can shop in peace. Why do they go to such lengths? Because the 0.01% don't just buy products, they buy influence networks. When you are a top-tier client of a brand like Hermes or Ferrari, you are part of a private club. You get invited to events where you meet other people of your stature. The brand becomes the social glue for the global elite. The secret is that the brand is essentially running a high-end dating and networking service disguised as a retail business. They are consolidating power by bringing the world's most influential people into their ecosystem. If you want to know who is really running a country, look at the guest list for the private dinner hosted by a major luxury conglomerate. This is where the mask slips. The exclusivity isn't just a marketing trick. It's a filter. It's a way for the elite to identify one another without saying a word. It's a silent language of power. And if you don't speak it, you aren't just poor, you're invisible. We've seen how they manufacture the desire and how they curate the elite. But there is one final piece of the puzzle. A strategy so aggressive that it borders on psychological warfare. It's the reason why, no matter how much you buy, you will never feel like you have enough. We're about to look at the planned obsolescence of status. The pivot happens when you realize that luxury is not about timelessness. That's the lie they print in the brochures. Luxury is actually about the accelerated cycle of irrelevance. If a product truly lasted forever socially, not just physically, the brand would stop growing. So, they have to find a way to make last year's timeless masterpiece look like a relic. They do this through micro-trend engineering. They don't change the logo, they change the vibe. They shift the silhouette, the shade of gold, the texture of the stitching. It's subtle enough that the public doesn't notice, but the insiders do. It's a shibboleth way to tell who bought their status yesterday and who bought it today. This is the insider's reversal. While the masses are finally catching up to the it bag of 3 years ago, the brand has already signaled to the elite that that specific bag is now common. They move the goalposts. They purposefully burn their own designs by making them too popular, forcing the true elite to move on to the next, even more obscure, even more expensive tier. Even more expensive tier. The most sophisticated version of this is the ugly luxury movement. Have you ever wondered why brands release sneakers that look like orthopedic shoes or trash bag pouches for $2,000? It's not a mistake, it's a status test. It's a way of saying, I am so wealthy and so influential that I can wear something objectively hideous and you will still have to respect me. It's the ultimate flex of power to redefine beauty itself. When you see a celebrity in a $3,000 destroyed sweater, they aren't wearing a garment. They are wearing a declaration that they are above the traditional rules of aesthetics. They are testing the boundaries of their influence. But there's a financial secret hidden in the books of these conglomerates as well. Most of these independent, historic brands are actually owned by a handful of massive holding companies. These companies LVMH, Kering, Richemont operate like shadow governments. They share data, they share manufacturing secrets, they share the consumer profile of every billionaire on the planet. When you buy a watch from one house and a suit from another, there is a high chance the same data center is tracking both purchases. They are building a 360-degree map of your desires. They know when you're likely to feel insecure. They know when you're looking for a reward purchase. They don't just predict your behavior, they trigger it. They use artificial deflation and strategic buybacks to control the secondary market. If the price of a certain watch starts to drop at auction, the brand itself or a shell company will often step in and buy it to keep the value narrative intact. They cannot afford to let the world see that their investments can lose value. The secret world is a rigged game where the house always wins because the house owns the players, the cards, and the table. The final layer of the luxury machine isn't about the product at all. It's about legacy insurance. True power isn't just about owning things. It's about controlling the perception of time. Luxury brands have successfully positioned themselves as the keepers of history. By associating their products with dynasties, royalty, and historical greatness, they offer the consumer a chance to buy a piece of immortality. You aren't just buying a Patek Philippe. You're looking after it for the next generation. This is perhaps the most brilliant marketing slogan in human history. It removes the guilt of the exorbitant price tag and replaces it with the virtue of being a custodian of history. It transforms a selfish act of consumption into an unselfish act of legacy. But look at what is actually happening. You are paying a premium to become a walking billboard for a multi-billion-dollar corporation. You are paying to maintain their history, not yours. The secret to millionaire-level success isn't learning how to buy these brands. It's learning how to be the brand. The elite understand that the products are just tools, props in a theater of influence. They use the signal of the brand to open doors, to close deals, and to command respect in rooms where they are strangers. But once the door is closed, the props are put away. The most powerful people I have ever met don't talk about their brands. They don't have to. The dark secret is that the brands are a ladder. Once you reach the roof, you're supposed to throw the ladder away. The people who stay obsessed with the logos are the ones who never actually made it to the top. They're just stuck on the rungs, forever looking up. The machinery of luxury is designed to keep you looking up. It's designed to keep you in a state of perpetual aspiration, because the moment you realize that the $50,000 watch doesn't actually give you more time, and the $10,000 suit doesn't actually make you more powerful, the illusion shatters. But the brands aren't worried. There will always be someone else waiting for the call. There will always be someone else willing to trade their reality for a piece of the secret world. The only question left is, are you the one buying the signal, or are you the one sending it? Subscribe to Luxury Power and hit the bell now. Every week, a new secret is uncovered. Drop in the comments where you're watching from. We love knowing our global audience. Everything you saw here is based on real cases, verified contracts, and documented facts. We don't glorify wealth, we dissect it. Do you still think money buys freedom? Tell us in the comments. Share this with someone who needs to see the truth. And remember, even the most expensive life can be a gilded cage. See you in the next video.